Welcome back to Capitol Review. We've had 11 government shutdowns since 1980, the longest lasting 34 days during the 2018-2019 shutdown. The hope is that the government will reopen soon, but there's not much optimism right now, but things could change. Well, joining us now is Jeffery Lord, a Republican political strategist and also a former White House aide to President Ronald Reagan. Jeffery, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Good to be here, Mark. Good to be here. On we go.
On we go, indeed. And so does this shutdown, this government shutdown. What stands out to you as we enter the fourth week?
The sameness of the whole thing. I have to say, I've seen these kind of things before, and the end result is always the same. Finally, one side feels so pressured that they just can't take the political heat anymore, and the whole thing gets resolved. And I think that's inevitably what will happen here. You know, the fact of the matter is that when you deny people paychecks and all of that sort of thing, they don't react very well to it, understandably. And at a certain point, this just becomes too much pressure for members of Congress, and they've got to get their act together.
Well, Jeffrey, Republicans blame Senate Democrats. Democrats say that Republicans have the White House, they have Congress, they have the House and the Senate. Who shoulders the blame?
Well, I think you've got a handful here who are sort of gumming up the works. A handful of Democrats, at least that's my understanding here, and therein lies the problem. So, you know, this is the kind of thing that can be resolved in 2 minutes if they wanted to do it. But there is no political incentive at this point to do it. When that sort of becomes a loud banging noise, they will pay attention to it, I assure you.
You served in the second Reagan White House. You didn't have a shutdown. There was one in the first Reagan administration. Talk about the difference in climate from then to now.
Well, President Reagan was new on the scene, and that made a difference. And you know, one of the interesting things that I learned, I was working for a Republican congressman who was on the House Budget Committee, and so it was my task to read the budget, which was huge, you know, thousands of pages and all this sort of thing. Well, one of the things I learned is that for all of the rhetoric, you had Republicans saying, in essence, yeah, we want to cut spending just like President Reagan, but you know, I've got this one project in my district, and I can't afford to have that cut. I remember in one case, there were members of I went to speak when this was a little further on. I was in the Reagan White House at that point. And I was asked to give a speech to a Chamber of Commerce in Pennsylvania. So I went and I did it, and one of the first things I got was, well, we love President Reagan, but this business of cutting out our water project, we've got to have this project. Well, that's the sort of mentality that you multiply that by 435 members of the House and 100 senators, and you begin to see the problem here when it comes to cutting the budget.
Quickly, Jeffrey, how does this come to an end?
When the political heat is so much that the side that's resisting just can't resist anymore, and that will happen.
Jeffery Lord, thank you so very much for joining us.
You bet.